Last Tuesday, a 71-year-old customer of mine drove off my lot in a truck he paid $14,800 for, and I guarantee it will outlive trucks costing twice that. He had spent 3 weeks getting laughed at by dealers for asking about something simple, comfortable, and reliable. They kept pushing him toward $45,000 turbocharged monsters with touchscreens the size of a television. Meanwhile, 5 of the most dependable, easiest to live with pickups in America are sitting on used lots gathering dust because buyers under 50 think they are boring. Boring is exactly what you want. After 22 years in this shop, I've learned the trucks nobody brags about are the ones nobody has to tow in. Number 1 on this list, I've put 11 retired customers into one, and my own father drives it. Let's count them down. Number 5, GMC Canyon, model years 2017 to 2020, 3.6-liter V6. Number 5 is the truck that is cheap for the dumbest reason in the car business: badge confusion. The GMC Canyon is mechanically identical to the Chevrolet Colorado. Same frame, same engine, same transmission, built on the same assembly line. But because everybody searches for Colorado and nobody searches for Canyon, the GMC version consistently sells for $1,500 to $2,500 less than its twin with the exact same miles. That is free money for anyone paying attention. Here's why this truck works so well for older drivers. It is a midsize, which means it fits in a normal garage and a normal parking space. The step in height is manageable without running boards or gymnastics. And the second generation 3.6-liter V6, the LGZ engine that General Motors introduced in 2017, is a genuinely solid motor. It is naturally aspirated, so there is no turbo to fail, and it is paired with a proven 8-speed automatic transmission. Skip the earlier 2015 and 2016 models. Those had a first-generation V6 and some transmission shudder complaints that General Motors largely sorted out with updated torque converters and fluid by 2017. I had a retired school teacher come in 2 years ago with a 2018 Canyon SLE she bought for $21,000. She uses it for mulch runs, taking her kayak to the lake, and hauling her grandkids' bikes. Total repair bill in 2 years of ownership, 1 battery, and 1 set of wiper blades. That's IT. Current market? A 2018 Canyon Crew Cab. V6 with 70,000 to 90,000 miles, runs $17,000 to $21,000. The equivalent Toyota Tacoma is $26,000 to $29,000. That's a difference of $8,000 for a truck that rides better on pavement, has a quieter cabin, and, this matters for older drivers, has noticeably better seats for long trips. The Tacoma's low, legs-out driving position is famously uncomfortable for anyone with hip or knee issues. The Canyon lets you sit upright like a chair. Inspection checklist. First, get the transmission fluid checked and ask if the shudder recall service was ever performed. Second, listen for ticking at cold start. Some high-mileage V6s develop lifter noise. Walk away if you hear it. Third, check the air conditioning condenser for leaks, a known General Motors weak point, about $600 to fix. Fourth, look for the diesel version if you tow. The 2.8-liter Duramax is a gem, but parts cost more, so most seniors should stick with the V6. Bottom line, it's a Colorado wearing a suit nobody recognizes, and you get paid for the privilege. Number 4, Ram 1500 Classic, 2014 to 2020, 3.6 Pentastar. Number 4 is a full-size truck riding on coil springs while every competitor bounces around on leaf springs designed in the horse and buggy era, and you can buy one for the price of a used Corolla. Here's what most buyers don't understand about the fourth-generation Ram 1500, the one Ram kept selling as the classic all the way through 2024 because demand never died. Everybody wants the Hemi 5.8. The Hemi versions get snapped up fast and priced accordingly. But the 3.6-liter Pentastar Viv6 versions, those sit. Dealers can't move them because truck guys think a V6 full-size is embarrassing. Let me tell you what's actually embarrassing. Paying for 395 horsepower you'll never use to haul a lawnmower. The Pentastar makes 305 horsepower, which is more than the V8 trucks of the early 2000s made, and it's paired with the ZF 8-speed automatic, the same transmission family used in BMWs, Audis, and Rolls-Royces. It is, in my professional opinion, one of the best automatic transmissions ever installed in a pickup. Smooth, quick, and durable past 200,000 miles with fluid changes. And the coil spring rear suspension is the senior driver's secret weapon. Every other half-ton truck in this era skips and skitters over bumps when the bed is empty. The Ram rides like a large sedan. For anyone with a bad back, that difference is not a luxury, it's the whole ballgame. I put a 74-year-old customer, a retired electrician, into a 2019 Ram Classic Tradesman with the V6 last year. 61,000 miles, $19,500. He had been quoted $34,000 for a used Hemi Laramie down the street. He calls me every few months just to tell me the gas mileage he is averaging 21 on the highway in a full-size truck. Market numbers. Bullshot, a 2017 to 2019 Ram 1500 with the Pentastar and under 90,000 miles runs $16,000 to $21,000 depending on trim. The same truck with a Hemi is $4,000 to $6,000 more, and the Hemi brings its own baggage, the infamous lifter and cam issues that can hit around 100,000 to 150,000 miles and cost $3,000 plus to repair. The Pentastar has no such widespread failure. Its one known weak spot, left bank cylinder head issues, was mostly confined to 2011 to 2013 engines and fixed with an updated head design. What to check? Oil cooler housing for leaks, plastic housing, known Pentastar issue, about $500 to fix, and often a negotiating chip. Rear coil spring purchase for rust in salt states, and run the truck's AIR suspension through its range if it is a higher trim that has it, or better yet, buy one with standard coils and skip the complexity entirely. Now, if a full size seems like too much truck, this next one is the price of a used golf cart and refuses to die. Number 3, Nissan Frontier from 2012 to 2019. Number 3 is a truck that stayed mechanically identical for so long that Nissan accidentally created one of the most debugged vehicles in automotive history, and it is now the cheapest reliable pickup in America. The second-generation Frontier launched in 2005 and soldiered on essentially unchanged until 2021. 16 years. The automotive press mocked it relentlessly for being ancient. The interior looks like a flip phone. The infotainment is a joke. And I could not care less because every single flaw in this truck was discovered, documented, and engineered out years ago. By the 2012 model year, the one real problem, the early radiator design that could leak coolant into the transmission, the famous strawberry milkshake issue on 2005 to 2010 trucks, was resolved. What you're left with is the VQ40, a 4.0-liter V6 from the same engine family Nissan put in the 350Z sports car. 261 horsepower, timing chain, no turbo, no direct injection headaches, no CVT, a traditional 5-speed automatic that just works. RepairPal data shows the Frontier needing unscheduled repairs about 0.24 times per year against a segment average of 0.4. That's nearly half the shop visits of the average mid-size truck. And the prices are almost insulting. A 2012 Frontier is currently the newest pickup you can reliably find, averaging under $10,000. Step up to a 2015 to 2019 V6 crew cab in clean condition and you are at $15,000 to $19,000, while U.S. News scored the 2015 model an 8.6 out of 10 with a perfect 5 out of 5 reliability rating. A Tacoma of the same year with the same miles costs $6,000 to $9,000 more. And here is the part Toyota loyalists do not want to hear. That generation of Tacoma had well-documented transmission hunting issues and rides stiffer than the Nissan. For a senior driver, the Frontier's appeal is its honesty. Big physical knobs for the climate control, gauges you can read at a glance, a hood you can see the end of. Nothing beeps at you, nothing requires a submenu. One of my longtime customers, a 78-year-old retired farmer, has a 2014 Frontier with 167,000 miles on it. His total repair history with me: brakes, one alternator at 140,000, and fluids. He says it's the best vehicle he's owned since his 1987 hardbody, which, funny enough, is this truck's great-grandfather. Checklist: verify the radiator was replaced or the truck is 2012 or newer. Check the timing chain guides. A rattle at cold start on higher mileage examples means the secondary chain tensioners are wearing, roughly a $1,200 job, so negotiate hard or walk. Inspect the frame for rust if you are in the Northeast. Nissan frames are not Toyota recall bad, but salt is salt. And favor the King Cab if you rarely carry rear passengers. They run $2,000 cheaper than crew cabs for identical mechanicals. Number 2. Nissan Titan from 2017 to 2020. Number 2 is a full-size truck with a 390 horsepower V8, a J.D. Power great reliability rating, and depreciation so brutal it's basically a clearance sale because it committed the unforgivable sin of not being a Ford, Chevy, or Ram. The second-generation Titan is the truck nobody cross-shopped. Ford guys buy Fords, Chevy guys buy Chevys. And so the Titan sat on lots, sold in tiny numbers, and now hits the used market worth thousands less than the Detroit trucks, despite having, in my experience, fewer problems than most of them. The heart of this truck is the 5.6-liter Endurance V8. Naturally aspirated, dual overhead cams, and closely related to the V8 Nissan has used in the Armada and Infiniti QX80, engines that routinely see 250,000 plus miles in airport shuttle and livery duty, which is the harshest testing program on Earth. No cylinder deactivation, constantly switching cylinders on and off like GM's V8s. No turbochargers spooling themselves to death like Ford's EcoBoost. No lifter roulette like the Hemi. Just a big, understressed V8 bolted to a conventional 7-speed automatic. The numbers make no sense in the best way. A 2018 Titan S5 Crew cab with 70,000 to 90,000 miles, $19,000 to $23,000. A 2018 F-150 XLT with similar miles, $26,000 to $30,000. Same size, same capability for normal use, more than $5,000 apart. And when these trucks were closer to new, they carried Nissan's 5-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, the longest of any full-size truck at the time, which tells you how confident Nissan was in the hardware. For older drivers specifically, the Titan does 3 things well. The seats, Nissan zero-gravity seats developed using NASA posture research, are legitimately the most comfortable in the class for long drives and bad backs. The controls are refreshingly analog, and the ride is soft and settled, tuned more for comfort than for towing bragging rights. Who should skip it? Anyone towing over 9,000 pounds regularly, anyone who needs the massive dealer network of the Big Three in a rural area, and anyone who cares about resale, because yes, the depreciation that benefits you as a buyer will follow you as a seller. My answer to that: don't sell it. Drive it 15 years. What to inspect? Rear differential fluid condition. Since some early trucks had a diff whine, Nissan updated the fluid spec, and it's a cheap service. Exhaust manifold bolts on high-mileage examples. And confirm all recalls are closed at a Nissan dealer, which takes one phone call with the VIN. That's number 2. Number 1 is the truck I recommend to retired customers more than every other vehicle on this list combined. And it is the one truck guys refuse to take seriously, which is exactly why it is affordable. If this list is saving you money, hit subscribe, because I do this every week with real shop numbers. Number 1, Honda Ridgeline. Number 1 is the only pickup truck in America that J.D. Power has rated great for quality and dependability every single year it has existed. 20 consecutive model years, and it sells for thousands under equivalent Tacomas because truck purists decided it is not a real truck. Let me tell you about my father. He is 76. 3 years ago, he wanted to replace his old F-150 because climbing into it was getting hard on his knees, and it wandered all over the highway in crosswinds. He asked me, his own son, the mechanic, what to buy. I said Honda Ridgeline. He said, and I quote, "That is not a truck, that is a pilot with a bed." I said, "Dad, that is exactly the point." The Ridgeline is unibody, built on Honda's pilot platform. Truck forums treat that like a scandal, but think about what a retired driver actually does with a pickup. Dump runs, garden center, hardware store, maybe a small trailer or a golf cart. The Ridgeline tows 5,000 pounds, more than enough for all of it, while riding, steering, and braking like a comfortable SUV. The step-in height is low. The cabin is quiet. The rear seat folds up for grandkid gear. There is a lockable trunk built into the bed floor, the only one in the industry, so your groceries and golf clubs stay hidden and dry. And the tailgate opens 2 ways, down like a normal truck or sideways like a door, which means no leaning over a dropped gate and straining your back to reach cargo. Honda designed this truck for real life, and real life is what retirement is. Under the hood is the J35 3.5-liter V6, the same engine family Honda has been refining in the Pilot, Odyssey, and Acura MDX for over 2 decades. Naturally aspirated, timing belt maintenance at 100,000 miles, and that's about the only scheduled event of consequence. IC Cars ranks Honda as the second longest-lasting brand in America, behind only Toyota, and the Ridgeline sits at the top of Honda's truck longevity list for vehicles most likely to reach 250,000 miles. Standard all-wheel drive on the 2017 to 2020 models with anything above the base front drive trims, and it gets better fuel economy than any body-on-frame truck in the class. Now the money. A 2017 to 2018 Ridgeline RTL with 70,000 to 90,000 miles runs $19,000 to $23,000. A 2017 Tacoma with the same miles is $26,000 plus. For a truck with a worse ride, a worse driving position, and a transmission that generation of Tacoma owners spent years complaining about. Even the older first-generation Ridgeline holds up. A 2012 averages around $18,000 with a perfect 5 out of 5 reliability rating from U.S. News. When a 14-year-old truck holds that kind of rating, that's not luck, that's engineering. My father bought a 2019 Ridgeline RTL-E with 52,000 miles for $26,500. 3 years later, his total repair spend is $0. Oil changes, 1 set of tires, done. Last month, he told me the tailgate trunk is the smartest thing anyone ever put on a truck. He also admitted he was wrong, which for my father is a bigger event than the truck purchase. Inspection. Checklist. First, check the infotainment system thoroughly. The electronics are the Ridgeline's most common complaint, not the mechanicals. A laggy screen isn't a deal breaker, but know it going in. Second, verify the timing belt service if the truck is near or past 100,000 miles. It's about a $1,000 to $100 job with the water pump, and if it hasn't been done, that's your negotiation. Third, test the rear seat release levers. They can jam, and Honda replaces them cheap. Fourth, check for the fuel injector software update on early 2017 models. A dealer can confirm with the VIN in 5 minutes. Who should skip it? Anyone towing more than 5,000 pounds, anyone doing serious off-roading, and anyone who genuinely cannot live with their neighbor saying that's not a real truck. Everyone else, and I mean every retired driver watching this, should drive one before buying anything else. 10 minutes behind the wheel usually ends the argument. So there is the list. 5 trucks that are cheap for reasons that have nothing to do with the machine itself. Wrong badge, wrong engine, wrong image. The metal does not care, and neither should your wallet. If you want the trucks that look like bargains but will eat your savings alive, that video is right here. Like, subscribe, and take care of your truck so it takes care of you. See you in the next one.